This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states. Your customers are scrolling past your social ads, using ad blockers, and paying for ad-free streaming. But when they're listening to a podcast, they're hearing Acast ads, which are 4.4 times more engaging than with display ads. So, if you want real attention, start advertising on podcasts with Acast. Start today at go.acast.com/ads.
Hello and welcome to the 909 podcast. It is the first of our best of 2024 podcasts. It is the best of the year. We are in the zone. We're in my favorite zone of the year. The looking back on the last 12 months, having a think about all the music you loved in the last 12 months and then discussing some of it because there's just so much music. Isn't that right, Andrea? There's just so much music.
That is right.
I have made a massive playlist already of 130 best songs of the year, and I might just leave it the way it is and then feature some of them, but we're going to pick and choose a selection anyway of some of my favorite songs of the year and some of your favorite songs of the year, and hopefully give you an impression as well of an artifact of what the year was like for both of our listening, and also what happened in music maybe a little bit as well. So let's start in, because there's no time to waste. Generally, these best of 2024 podcasts are quite long and very much. I love doing these, and I love talking about some of the music we may have spoken about before, but specifically, I think there's a lot to get through here. So, yeah. Andrea, why don't you kick it off with your first song of the year, song of 2024? We are wasting no time.
Yeah, just before I kick it off, and to waste a little bit of time, as people who've listened to us before will know, we don't tend to rank our music. So we don't have, this is number 5, this is number 4, this is number 8, and so on. What we've done is select 8 songs each from this year that we loved. So they are our songs of the year, but they're in no particular order except our last song, which we have agreed we have each chosen our song of the year. Just, ranking music doesn't feel great to me. So we don't do it. With that said, but I don't mind. I don't mind.
I'm not wedded to it.
You can rank yours if you like.
Yeah, no. This is a selection. A good selection of songs that really meant a lot to me this year.
The selection box. Okay, my first song is from a man who I've seen live this year. His name is MJ Lenderman. It's from his absolutely brilliant album, Manning Fireworks, and the song is On My Knees. On My Knees by MJ Lenderman. That's my favorite track from the album. The album is one of my favorite albums of the year, one of my favorite gigs of the year. It was very much it was a big year for me and MJ Lenderman and our relationship. I meant to wear my t-shirt today, actually, that I got at the gig. Maybe I'll wear it at the for the Albums of the Year episode. I love that song. It's, you know, I think I've spoken before when we talked about Manning Fireworks, the album, that I love listening to music, rock music that is written by someone who very much has their history and their interest in country music. You tend to get very well structured songs. You tend to get really good melodies. You tend to get songs that kind of sound like they're already classics and you sort of can't believe they haven't been written yet. And I think On My Knees is one of those. And yeah, MJ Lenderman is just such a star. He's had such a brilliant year. That I think is the best song that he released this year. And I hope to have more and more.
Yeah, I wouldn't have pegged that one.
No.
From the album.
Okay.
I think a lot of people love Wristwatch. I love She's Leaving You more, I think.
I love Wristwatch. I love all of them, truly. I mean, my other favorite is Bark at the Moon, which is the last song on the album.
Yeah.
But it's a great album full of great songs, and it's hard to pick just one. But I remember the first listen I had. Harry came home with the LP from work on the day that it was released, and we put it on. And in my first listen, it was this song that really, really stood out to me. I was like, "Wow, this is a impeccably written and produced song." I think the guitars in it are wonderful, and it really punches through in the kind of the bridge, I suppose, or not what the Americans call the bridge, what we call the middle eight, and yeah, there's just such brightness to it later on in the track, but I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, great. Did the same thing that happened at the gig I was at. We both went to MJ Lenderman a night apart, two different venues. I was in Workman's and you were in Whelan's. And when they started playing this song, somebody started singing Oasis Supersonic. Did that happen in Whelan's?
No, we had extremely polite
middle-aged
men
drum beat,
at our
so
gig.
I get it. It's exactly the same. I was like, do no 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 no.
I have to say,
I need to be myself.
That gig was it was one of those where I just got like chatting to these like men afterwards, and one of them set me on his videos that he had taken during the show, and it was just such a lovely buzz.
Wow, okay.
It was just I just got the impression that fans
Is
of
that the
MJ
name of your
Lenderman are just,
upcoming
like,
EP? Andrea
such a lovely
Cleary,
buzz.
chatting to men.
Chatting to men at gigs, yeah, which was actually, non-derogatory, in a nice way. But lovely fans he has cultivated, I think. So good for him.
Very good, very good. Okay, my first choice is a song from... Well, it's a collaboration. It's a band that you may know very well from Canada, who are called Bad Bad Not Good, and their collaboration with a singer called Baby Rose. This is one of those songs that I just kept coming back to it a lot, and it repeated on me so much in this beautiful way. I was like, this is so stunning. Sounds like the past and the present and everything wrapped up. I mean, generally, like Bad Bad Not Good are a instrumental band, and that's grand, and I love their stuff, but they rarely do this kind of stuff unless it's with a rapper. Obviously they've done stuff with Ghostface Killah and stuff like that before, but this one, Baby Rose, it's a 6-track EP. I think this is absolutely stunning, and let's have a listen to a song called Weakness by Baby Rose and Bad Bad Not Good.
Sunday burn orange is cool. Your blade one sharp in my sword. Dirt to a do by my name. You were slipping away from me. To stay true.
Baby Rose and Bad Bad Not Good. The EP is called Slow Burn. That is my favourite track from it. It's all great. And funny enough, that's actually the least streamed song on the EP. So maybe other people think a lot of the other ones are better, and then maybe they are. But that was the one that vibed with me. Obviously, the voice there, the Atlanta-based Washington singer Baby Rose, sounds a bit like Shirley Bassey. That kind of
brilliant
old-school
vocals,
jazz diva, kind of operatic soul stuff. She's only 29, sounds like she's way older.
Wow.
That kind of howling vibrato going on. I just love the juxtaposition of those two, kind of bad, bad, not good. It's very tightly wound kind of, but also kind of sounds kind of loose as well, like that kind of playing you get when a band are just so in the pocket, and then her vocals across it. Obviously, Bad Bad Not Good, they work a lot with Charlotte Day Wilson as well, so that's another actually singer who I did mention the first. Really love this collaboration, really love this whole sound, and yeah, check it out. The rest of it is brilliant, but Weakness is the one that I kept going back to, so that is on my songs of 2024.
My next choice is a song by Adrian Lenker. It's called Sadness as a Gift, and it is from the album Bright Future, which came out this year.
There is nothing more to say. Chance has shut her shining eyes and turned her face away. Leaning on the windowsill, you could write me someday, and I think you will. We could see the sadness as a gift and still feel too heavy to hold. Snow falling, I try to keep from calling. Watch the spring turn to winter, fireflies all frozen. The seasons go so fast, thinking that this one was gonna last. Maybe the question was too much to ask.
We are always going to probably feature Adrian Lenker and the band that she is in, that my brain is just Big Thief. Well, hello. Hello, brain. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Yeah, this is from the solo album, Bright Futures. Yeah, there's a few songs on this you could have picked.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful album. I was surprised to see, now I haven't looked at a lot of lists, but I was definitely surprised when going through the Pitchfork list, the songs list, not to see her higher. I think she was somewhere in the 20s. And I think there's some really, really beautiful songs on this record. But this in particular was one that I kind of kept coming back to throughout the year or since it was released. It's just very beautiful. Like, what else is there to say? Like, we have spoken quite a lot about Big Thief and Adrian Lenker this year, both privately and, at our listening party. And it's been despite the band not putting out an album, and despite Adrian putting out an album that seemed to be well received but not huge, I sort of expected the album to be a bit bigger this year, but maybe we'll talk about it in the next episode. But we have spent a lot of time this year kind of or I've spent a lot of time with Adrian this year, and sort of this time of year is the time when I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try to learn some songs on guitar again, and maybe I'll pick up something. And so I sort of just watch her playing guitar and think, no, no, I'll just watch her instead. She's so good. But yeah, look, what is there to say about Adrian Lenker? She's one of, if not the best songwriter of her generation. She's impeccable musical talent. She's just a brilliant person as well. She's just great. I love her very much, and I love this song. This song meant a lot to me this year, so yeah. So it's on my list.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I love Fool a lot from that record.
Yeah, beautiful. And a beautiful music video as well. Really full of joy.
I don't know. Have I seen that? I don't know.
Oh, it's lovely. You should watch it. It's so joyous.
Yeah. Okay, great. I think it's just because they're such a prolific band. I think a solo record like that maybe doesn't like hit as high as their band's work themselves. I don't know.
Maybe. It's just surprising.
Like they are quite prolific, and you're like, well, there's another album. There's another thing.
True.
And then we were talking about at the listening party, they produced a record for kind of older guy who's based in Belgium. I can't remember the guy's name now.
I still haven't listened to it.
Yeah, I haven't either, but like, you know, quite a cool thing to do, I guess, as well. So
well, she was talking on that
Tucker
interview
Zimmerman
that I mentioned at the listening party. She did a really lovely interview with what's his name, Anthony Fontano, and she was talking in that interview about some of her goals being to set up, you know, kind of community-based music centers and like a recording studio and stuff where people can come in and create, and other people can like have a hand in, you know, helping them learn how to produce or producing their records for them and things like that. So that sort of like it twigged that memory. Then I was like, oh yeah, so they have this local person. And she was also saying in that interview that some of the most talented musicians that she knows have never put out music, you know, on Spotify or in CDs, or if they are in CDs, they're just kind of sold to friends and family or whatever. So yeah, I think this is really cool. I'm happy to sit down and listen to whatever she thinks is good music. Send it my way.
Sure. For sure. That's Adrian Lenker, of course. I decided to include a song from the other part of my life, the other part of my musical life, and that is my DJ thing that I do. I was doing a wedding last night. I do that occasionally. I decided to pick a song that I played a lot this year. It's one you'll know very well. It's just a slight remix of a well-known tune, and I'm going to play it now, and you'll know what it is straight away.
Hear the strings rising, the war's over, the bells ring, memories fading, soldiers slain, looks like geezers raving, the hazy fog over the ball ring, the lazy ways the birds sing, a new baby's born every day, few men may be scorned today, but look at things the other way, cause it may well be your final day, and then the crowds roar, they slay, they all say, I produce this using only my bare wit, give me a jungle, a garage beat and admit defeat. War and past injury as my metaphor and simile. Get all applications into me before the deadline, cause it's a fine line between strife for crimes and a life for crime. But you will reach the day, and it's all mine. You can take it or leave it. I shake and reveal stage tricks like Jimi Hendrix. In the afterlife, gladiators meet their maker, float through the wheat fields and lakes of blue water to the next life from the fortress, away from the knives and slaughter to their wives and daughters. Once more before the Lord judges over all of us. It's in this place you'll see me. Brace yourself, cause this goes deep. That's it. Turn the page on the day, walk away. Cause there's sense in what I say. I'm 45th generation Roman, but I don't know them or care when I'm speaking.
So yeah, that's Over Mono's version, edit or remix of Turn the Page by The Streets. The reason I chose that is because I played it a lot, but also because, you know, in the context of a club or with speakers, I mean, you can kind of hear it there, but the sub bass that comes in there is insane when you play that on a big, really good sound system, and it's so much fun to drop that as well. I mean, obviously I didn't make the song or anything. Playing other people's music is a lot easier than making your own, but it's just such a really smart kind of bass rework of the original. It doesn't, these days I'm like, if you're going to play a song like that, you need to include the whole verse, and this one has the verse twice in it, and it's been really great. It matches really well with like that Two Shell Sugar Babes remix that finally came out this year, and alongside that and Jamie XX and Robin's Life and Romere's Discotheque. I played those songs a lot when I was DJing, so yeah, just shout out to my other DJ life, because sometimes I was thinking about this during the week. I was like, I made a playlist of 100 songs, and Probably this year I didn't discover a huge amount of like new dance music or club music, but it's always like it's hard to know where to fit it in sometimes with the songs, like the tracks and the songs. Like sometimes they feel like different things almost. And if I have time, sometimes I do my favorite dance floor music or favorite club music of the year, but I just feel like I'm not going to have that time this year. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's a shout out to the other part of my life. And turn the page over Mono's version of the Streets track.
I'm going to pick a song from an album that I think has been hugely overlooked in the end of year discourse. This is this did come out this year, if you can believe it.
I know. I still can't believe it. Somehow it just doesn't feel right.
I know.
March 29th.
This is the opening track from Cowboy Carter. It's called American Requiem, and it's by Beyoncé.
But let me make myself clear. Can you hear me? Or do you fear me? Can we stand for something? Now is the time to face the wind. Coming in peace and love, y'all. A lot of taking up space.
Obviously, there's a lot going on that track. There's a lot more to represent on that opening. Yeah, tell me. You picked the opening track of Cowboy Carter.
I did.
Quite a long album, isn't it? In terms of tracks, anyway. Yeah, an hour and 18.
I don't know if you remember, but we did review it. But my theory about why this has been, I suppose, a bit overlooked is that I think we knew ahead of time that Beyoncé was going to do a country album. We knew the name of the album was Cowboy Carter, and we saw the album artwork. So I think a lot of the takes on the album were sort of locked and loaded before it even came out, you know, in terms of people not defending it, but like asserting it as a country album and asserting Beyoncé as having the right to make country music. Obviously, the American Country Awards performance with the Chicks was spoken about a lot. There was, in the words of Beyoncé, there was a lot of talking going on. And then on the other side of things, you know, Beyoncé can't be a country artist because she's a pop artist, because she's black, all of this stuff. So I think a lot of the takes, a lot of the discord were like sitting in the drafts. And then as soon as the album came out, it was like a flood of discourse, which meant that we actually went through the discourse cycle very, very quickly. Like something that usually I think would have played out over the course of like a few weeks actually played out over the course of maybe 2 to 3 days, because we had all of these like, so some really, really brilliant pieces written in like the LA Times and the New York Times and the New Yorker and all of these big places. So the album itself, and even more so the songs themselves, I think became a bit of a footnote to the larger conversation. And my inclusion of American Requiem is to just sort of like, I guess, correct that a little bit and say, you know, the music on this album, while not all of it was my favorite work that Beyoncé has ever done, I think as a cohesive whole, it works excellently. But I think in particular, this opening track is so evocative and really, really beautiful, really different for Beyoncé. And it just felt like it was the announcement of this new world. I love the harmonies. Like I love where the song goes. It's quite a long song. Yeah, I just loved it at the time. And whenever I found myself coming back to Cowboy Carter during the year, which admittedly wasn't a lot because like you said, it is a long album. But whenever I did find myself coming back and beginning at the first song, I was floored every time I heard it. I was like, this is a really creative introduction to this new sound. And then of course she goes in a million different directions on the album, which is great in itself as well. So, but I just wanted to give
we did discuss
American
on the podcast
Requiem
as well, that we did about Cowboy Carter. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
say, you know.
But I just wanted to give American Requiem its flowers because I think it's one of the best, certainly one of the best produced songs of the year. It is, it's stunning to listen to. It really, really is beautiful.
Yeah, great. I mean, there's a lot of records came out around that time. shortly afterwards. So it was kind of, as well as what you were saying there, which I think is really interesting, that the discourse happens quickly and fast. But you're right. I think the cover was taken as
I think the week after was, or maybe a couple of weeks after, was then the Taylor Swift album. So we obviously moved on very quickly to that. It was,
and wasn't it Billie Eilish shortly after that as well?
Billie Eilish was around then as well, and there was another big release the day of the Beyoncé album as well. It was like a few weeks of just kind of non-stop, like huge releases.
Yeah, well, that time of year is often that way. But it's interesting how quickly it kind of fell out of, the public discourse in a way. Because it's kind of like I don't know, I guess we'll figure out what happens next for Beyonce and where that goes. Was that not a dead end, but like, is that a means to itself, and then she goes and does something else, or she want to do something more? Like, there's always talk about whether there's going to be like videos, and she didn't do a lot of stuff around this, did she?
No, not really.
No. So interesting to see what happens next. All right, well, my next track is a band I went to see on Friday night, and Andrea has a terse relationship with them, I want to say.
I just don't care anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. I also, look, we're talking about the Fontaines DC. I'm sort of also over the discourse, though, at the same time, that we have also sometimes talked about the band, and I think their album this year, Romance, is their best work since their first album. I think the problems that I had with Skinty Fia and A Hero's Dead, if I remember correctly, was that they were just going into a bit of a dirgy rock thing that was just, I didn't find that interesting. A lot of other people love it, and that's fine. But I think the songs on Romance are really good, and my favourite song on it is Favourite. So I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to talk about why I picked it, and also the gig.
Did you know I can claim the dreamer from the dream? Make you feel everything you've never even seen. Yeah, it's been a long. You've been my favorite for a long time. Stitch and fall faces rearranged. You will see beauty give the way to something strange. Yeah, it's been a long. You've been my favorite for a long time. Well, low Q shows from you as a clown. 35 hours coming down, and the sun shines on you pavement, and you don't even feel it. It's a cry far from bed radios. The days spent playing football indoors when they painted town with Thatcher.
So that's Favourite from Fontaines DC. Probably the least representative song they've released in a while of what they normally do. It's basically just a pretty little ditty as far as I'm concerned. It reminds me of late 80s, early 90s indie pop music. Interestingly, so I went to see them in the Three Arena on Friday, because I hadn't seen them in a long time. Like, I think the last time I saw the Fontaines was in a sports club as part of Young Hearts Run Free in like 2018, maybe, I don't know. I just hadn't got around to actually going to their gigs. So obviously, like, there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of like talk about how this band are, playing Three Arena and how impressive it is, and it is impressive, obviously. But that aside, and all the pride stuff, for me, I wanted to go because while I like the band, I don't love them, and I have issues with some of the stuff they've said, or like, not strong issues, but like, I'm just like, oh, what are you saying? Like, so that stops me from loving them. And then the songs that I just don't really vibe with that much generally. And so it was interesting to go to a gig and kind of sit there for an hour and 45 minutes and be like, okay, what do I really think it is? What do they think of this band? And a lot of times I've just like, there's songs I love, but there's a lot of songs I just don't like much, or don't do much for me. But favorite is not one of them. It's one of those like, this is a TikTok friendly song. You know what I mean? This is a song that like people have used to soundtrack parts of their lives and videos of their month and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, wow, it's so different. It's so like, and I think it's just really sweet. Before they came out on stage, they did a few things. Like the pre-show playlist had 2 Whipping Boy songs on it, and I've always talked about how Fontaines are like basically an updated version of Whipping Boy, and I don't think they're clearly don't mind being compared to Whipping Boy if they're playing 2 of their songs. And the other thing that took me by surprise was they played the Laz There She Goes, and everyone started singing along in the 3 Arena. I was like, what is going on here? What year is this? But it was kind of a telling as well, because that's kind of like a pretty little ditty as well. And that's, look, I think Favorite's a great song. I think it's a really lovely, heartwarming outlier in the band's discography. I
agree with you.
Yeah, I just return to it a lot. I returned to it a lot this year. I think sometimes they can get a tendency to be a bit too rock band, capital R, but I really love that they just released this beautiful little song. And along with Starbursters, the biggest songs on the new album. And it's one that I think is just worth highlighting, and one I came back to a lot, so I have to represent that. Okay.
Very good. Yeah, I have to say Starburster didn't do anything for me, but I do think Favorite is lovely. It just reminds me of Just Like Heaven by The Cure, and can't really complain about that. But the album I have listened to, I remain unchanged. I'm sorry for anybody who for some reason that really bothers. Maybe find a cause that you're interested in.
Absolutely fine.
My next choice is the song Caroline by Laura Marling, which I would put up there as maybe the most beautiful song of the year.
Was my number hard to find? You know I'd given up believing, but the song had somewhat lingered on my mind. It went la 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 la, something something Caroline. Caroline, you're like an ember, a rock that bursts back into life, a song I only just remember that goes, oh, something, something, Caroline. La 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 la, something, something, Caroline. Caroline, we are old now. I got married and I loved my wife. I have kids, they're good and grown now. All in all, I've been happy with my life. I was never really far from you, was I? Something, something, Caroline.
That's Caroline by Laura Marling. Harry and I were doing our yearly thing where we listened to the top 20 songs on the Pitchfork list and complaining about how the list wasn't good, which we do every year. And afterwards we were playing a few of our own songs, and I played this for him, and he his response to it was, well, they don't write them like that anymore, which I thought was very indicative of the song. You know, it does feel like a classic standard from the 60s or something. Like, it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful story, very simple. Obviously her voice is just as beautiful as ever. Just a really tender song. I love the finger picking style on the guitar. I love the story that it tells, you know, someone from your past calling you up, and you're sort of the memories and the song associated with that memories, with those memories being something that you can kind of just about remember. You can just about sing the melody of, and I think it's just a really smart song and really well executed. And I'm jealous of everybody who saw her down in Other Voices in the church.
Well, in fairness, though, that's not very many people. It's a very small
Yes.
church.
Hence
do
my
we-
jealousy.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I really love the album it's from as well, Patterson Repeat. I like to think there's a song out there she's singing about that's real that we don't know about.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, Laura Marling, Caroline, lovely. Okay, my next choice is one of the songs of the summer contenders that we had, and it fits in nicely here because it doesn't fit anywhere else, because there was an album that came out from this artist, but I haven't heard it, or maybe I have and I haven't really listened to it or whatever. But Tommy Richmond, it released $1 Million Baby, all caps, and oh my god, when I heard this, I was hammering it a lot. So let's have a listen to $1 Million Baby by Tommy Richmond. Yeah, that's $1 Million Baby in R&B, G-Funk, Pharrell, pop thumper. And that's all there is to say about that, really. It's just one of those earworms that I kept coming back to, no more, no less. And I love it. Yeah, I was going to ask you about the songs. It seems like the Pitchfork list this year was maybe a bit of a correction or like a slight diversion from what they normally do, maybe as a result of like the whole kind of their new vibe there, which was, earlier this year was, they fired a load of people. And it seemed like they've gone a bit more casual in terms of their writing sometimes when I've read it. I was like, whoa, is this a review? Like, if you read the Father John Misty review, you're like, am I missing a few lines at the start of this? It just goes straight in like it's like some like WhatsApp entry or something. It's real. There's a lot more casualness to it, seems to be. And I kind of felt like the songs of the year list, now I haven't revisited since I looked at it, but it just felt like it was a bit more of a doubling down on a lot of like meme and like TikTok and stuff songs that I hadn't heard.
Well, what I didn't like about the songs of the year list was that they seemed to, without stating it to the readers, they seemed to limit themselves to one song per artist, which I don't think they've done in the past. There being only one Charli XCX song on the list felt very strange. And I know the readers list will probably reflect things maybe a little bit more
well, I'm looking at that right here, and there's about, I can tell you now, hold on, I'm gonna just search the term Charli XCX. I think there's at least I think there's 10 of them.
Yeah.
Dear old work platform, it's not you, it's us. Actually, it is you. Endless onboarding? Constant IT bottlenecks? We've had enough. We need a platform that just gets us. And to be honest, we've met someone new. They're called Monday.com, and it was love at first onboarding. Their beautiful dashboards, their customizable workflows got us floating on a digital cloud 9. So no hard feelings, but we're moving on. Monday.com, the first work platform you'll love to use.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Yeah.
pretty representative.
I think that's fine. You know, it's not an artist of the year list; it's a songs of the year list. And if an artist made 2 of the best songs of the year, then great. You know,
Charli
especially if
XCX I
you've
put
got
in by
100
accident
songs.
there. Charli.
Well,
There you go.
it's not inaccurate.
16 songs she has in the top 100 readers list. That's, yeah, there you go. Wow. That's the entire album, basically.
Well, speaking of Charli XCX,
Speaking.
my next choice is from Brat. I initially had 2 Charli XCX songs on my list here, but spoiler alert, we'll be talking about it. We'll be talking about Brat on albums of the year. So I'm just going to go with one here. And I'm going to go with Everything is Romantic, the OG Brat version, even though I do really like the remix as well. But yeah, here's Everything is Romantic by Charli XCX.
Jesus Christ on a plastic sign. Early nights and white sheets with lace curtains. Capri in the distance. Bad tattoos on leather tan skin. Jesus Christ on a plastic sign. All in love again and again. Winding roads through manual drive. Bad tattoos on leather tan skin. Jesus Christ on a plastic sign. All in love again and again. Winding roads through manual drive. Early nights and white sheets with lace curtains. Capri in the distance. In a place that can make you change. All in love again and again. Early nights and white sheets with lace curtains. Capri in the distance. In a place that can make you change. All in love. Everything is romantic. Oh. Everything is romantic. Oh. Everything is romantic. Everything is romantic. Oh. Lemons on the trees and on the ground. Sandals on the stirrups of the scooters. Neon orange drinks on the beach. 4 generations make up a family. Lemons on the trees and on the ground. Sandals on the stirrups of the scooters. Neon orange drinks on the beach. 4 generations make up a family. Early nights and white sheets with lace curtains. Pompeii in the distance. In a place that can make you change. Fall in love again and again. Early nights and white sheets with lace curtains. Pompeii in the distance.
Everything is Romantic by Charli XCX. I love that song. It was a song that, again, really stood out to me on the first listen of the album, which I remember finding really overwhelming initially. But it was just song after song of just like absolute greatness. And I felt like, I was like, oh, it's going to take me so long to get my head around this and you know, the themes and how to approach it and you know, which songs are going to be my favorite. But I knew this one was going to be a favorite of mine. It's really beautiful. It's like a poem. These kind of little vignettes of life on a holiday and being away from real life and escapism, which is a really big theme in the album. And I think that the production on it is really beautiful. You can tell that she kind of spent a lot of time on this song, I think. And I think it's one of those songs that really has a vision and a soundscape. And yeah, I just think it's a really emotional song as well. Like I listened to it during, like, you know, emotional periods of my year, and I found it to be a kind of a great comfort in that time as well. So yeah, I think this is maybe an underrated track from the album. You know, obviously I think Von Dutch is one of the best songs of the year. I just, again, wanted to kind of give this song its flowers because I do think it's incredibly accomplished and unlike anything else. You know, I think it really stands out.
Are you sick of Brat yet in terms of the songs?
No, I'm really not. Like, I'm like genuinely not. I'm sort of at the stage of the year now where I'm just like, I'm really happy for her. Just really pleased for her, you know. It's what I wanted and more, you know.
It's what we all wanted for Charli. Me and you
her,
definitely
so.
wanted for Charli like that. Before
We
this all
did.
happened,
We
like,
did.
She just needs to make that album that's going to be like
I
the
know.
one. And she's done it.
And we knew she was going
Years.
to, and then she did it,
Yeah.
and like far surpassed like any expectations anybody
Yeah, no
could
one.
have
I don't think anyone saw
about it. You know,
this level of ubiquity, really, in terms of where it's come
Yeah.
from and where he's at now. You're like, whoa, no one saw that coming.
Just every decision, just, you know, maybe not the H&M tie-in, but everything else, you know, so of a piece, so of the moment. Like she set the bar.
Well, now she's on tour, doing her thing. And I talked to a few people who were away in the UK, going to see her and stuff like that. So reports are all good. She's here next summer at Malahide Castle, isn't it? So, the Brat era continues for sure.
Long
okay. My next track is from a band that I discovered, and a lot of people discovered this year because they were brand new. The song is called Homie Don't Shake, and the band are called FCUK. They're called Fuckers, all right? FCUKERS. And for Cookers, we're not saying that. Here's Homie Don't Shake. You will notice the riff there. The sample guitar riff is from Devil's Haircut by Beck. Fuckers are a New York trio. There's a bit of an indie sleaze vibe going on. There was a lot of indie sleaze adjacent music. We mentioned Von Dutch earlier. That works for that kind of vibe as well. Von Dutch, certainly. Because it does kind of sound like a body rocks, I think it is. Anyway, yes, there's a lot of that indie sleaze. Fuckers kind of bringing some of that old Bloghouse kind of vibe, hyper pop as well. They're genuinely like a New York buzz band that happened this year. Kind of feels like they're there's nods to like, they have a good record collection. They know they've got DFA records. They've got The Rapture. They like their cowbell. They also, bit of CSS in there as well. There's a bit of the breakdown of the drums sounds a bit like the Chemical Brothers. So there's all that kind of stuff in there, and that's why I was like, hey, here's a band who are just making fun kind of electronic pop and kind of making fun tracks that, you know, feature lyrics like "Say You'll DJ at My Wake," all this kind of stuff. So I just remembered they're playing this week, supporting Confidence Man in Dublin. So might go along to that and have a look at them. So that's Fuckers and Homie Don't Shake from their Baggy EP, which is out on, I think it's a Ninja Tune release as well. Technicolor, the sub label from Ninja Tune. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they're like as well live, and maybe they're a flash in the band, maybe not, but I listen to this a lot, and their other song Bon Bon as well, which just got a Confidence Man remix as well.
Brilliant. My next choice is from my boy Feather Paul Ministry. It's called She Cleans Up, and it's from the album Mahash Mashana.
That Mary of Magdalene
all the future that awaits us just before Good Friday Eve. Figured the wages of salvation were a little too steep. Said no one's fucking with my baby Lord, and got onto the tea cleaning up. Cleaning up. Clean up. She cleans up. What is the one about the female alien? The scarlet drives the Scottish countryside inside of a white van. Oh, I dreamt about it last night, and it did my whole day in. Undid something when I'm never gonna touch that shit again. Cleaning up. Cleaning up. She cleans up. Cleaning up.
So there's a lot of songs again I could have chosen from Mahash Mashana. I've had a little bit more time with it since we last kind of spoke about it in the Best Music of November episode. And I love it more and more. And I chose She Cleans Up because I just think it's in the oeuvre of Father John Misty. You know, these songs, the kind of This, Hollywood Forever, Cemetery Sings, kind of feel like a bit of a duo, and it was just really nice to hear him return to this sort of sound, this sort of snarkiness. It's got a really great music video as well, very funny, very charming, and yeah, I think he sounds great on it. He's, you know, very, very clever lyrics as usual, but there's just so much swag in this, and I can't wait to see it live. I got my ticket to see him next year.
After putting it out in the world, he's like, I need to see Father John Misty again. He goes in and announces not one, not two, but 3 Irish gigs, wasn't it? 3?
This has happened a couple of times with me this year. Remember, I said on the podcast, I was like, I'd really like to go to the
4,
Eras tour.
sorry.
And before the podcast had been released, you had gotten an email from someone being like, do you want to send Andrea to the Eras tour, or do you want to go to the Eras tour or whatever? And you were like, do you want to go to the Eras tour? And I was like, yeah. Did I do that? I think it's happened with something else as well. I can't remember.
Manifesting.
But I'm really over here manifesting gigs. So if anyone wants anyone to play
hold
here,
space with that and just think about, you know.
I'm holding space with manifesting gigs. I'd really like Paul McCartney to play here next year.
I'm sure he's due, surely.
He's touring.
Yeah.
He's touring.
Okay, well, Father John Misty, you got your wish. He's playing 4 gigs next August. It's Galway, Dublin, Belfast and Cork. So there you go.
Yeah.
He's going to be bringing the album on tour, and that is She Cleans Up from Father John Misty. My next choice is an Irish artist called Róis, who I got really into this year, and a lot of people did. I remember last week, I was out of the Voices last week for a flying 24-hour visit. Not actually flying, I drove. It's a long old drive, and God, I was so tired afterwards, but so worth it. But I just missed out on seeing Róis when I arrived down on the Friday, and I heard she was only 21, which is, again, I'm like, God, what? I saw her recently. The EP that this is from, or an album, short album essentially, is called Mulan, and a lot of it is, the theme is, it takes the idea of Irish culture around grief and things like keening and mourning and the concept of death and how we address it in Irish culture, and makes this beautiful and sometimes funny kind of folk and experimental music out of it. And nowhere is this more fully realised maybe than the lead single Queena, so I'm going to play that now. There are shades to this that remind me a little bit of Rachel Lavelle, and also in the way that some of the music in Rachel Lavelle's most recent album, Big Dreams, Dream Big, Big Dreams, no, Big Dreams, kind of has a bit of that, the woman who voiced the Lewis inner monologue stuff. In terms of Milan, and there's a short track on it called the Death Notices, and I'll just play that now to give you, because it's not all skyscraping experimental electronic music.
Hello and welcome to the Death Notices. We are sorry to inform you, but there will be no death notices this morning.
There you go. It's not all super serious stuff about death and grief as well. So I really like this. I think there's it was produced by John Spud Murphy as well, who obviously has worked with Lankum and Oxen and Black Midi and loads of other people. So I think he is credited by Róis as someone who brings out the best in her, and I think that's a really nice thing, because I remember Mike McGrath Bryan, formerly of This Parish, loved her last record, which is called Ishka and August Bean, and it didn't quite work for me in the same way, but this is like fully Technicolor now, I think. So a really interesting artist, Róis. The EP is called Milan, and the album is called Milan. It's 27 minutes long, 9 songs, so that's kind of an album now. And yeah, that song is called Queena.
Great. I'm not introducing this. Let's just play it.
Okay.
Psst. I see dead people. Aye, monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck 'em all, ain't they mama? How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pole on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs, and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 that fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us.
Oh, what else is there to say about it? I mean,
look, I'm going to tell you, right, that the two, like, time when I think about when I was at my happiest this year, my absolute peak happiness, it was in January when The Traitors was on, and it was during this beef. Those were my two like high points.
Fair play.
They're going to play in my mind as I slip away into death, hopefully as a very old person. I'm going to be like, man, that summer of the Drake and Kendrick beef was really something. Yeah. And what a good season of Traitors. Look, I'm like, if Charli hadn't had the year that she had, this would be the moment. And if Kendrick hadn't had the year that he had, Charli would be the moment. But how lucky are we in 2024 to have two cultural phenomenons in popular music, you know, like two like absolutely huge moments that are going to be remembered for a long, long, long time. We've had two this year. It's unbelievable. It's great. It truly, we've had more than two, actually, if you count some other artists as well, you know, one of whom we'll talk about in a minute. But Not Like Us is a brilliant song. It was also so much more than that. It was a moment. It was texting your friends. Kendrick dropped. It was watching all the streamers reacting to the songs, watching the like compilations of the streamers reacting to the songs. It was like
it's literally
seeing
reading the words over and over again. He's like, is he really saying that?
Yeah,
He is.
like
It's the music
he's
video.
just-
It's
the music fit, like all of it. It was just every step in this was great, and we get to round out the year now with a really really stupid lawsuit. So it's just
and a
stupid.
victory lap of an
It's
album
really
that
good.
I'm really enjoying. Like Squabble Up is like
Yeah,
is on my tunes of the year definitely as well. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
just how all of what led up to this as well was just like the drops of all the
Yeah.
songs, and then he just released this like undeniable like rap club banger, and you're like, well, I think he's won this one. If you
over.
didn't know it already,
yeah.
like, oh my god,
I mean, it's never been clearer cut
yeah.
in
Yeah.
a beef. Like this
Someone
is
has never
like-
been murdered so
I mean-
comprehensively as this.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. It's just
Meanwhile, Drake
it
Drake is
truly
out there
like,
advertising betting and gambling websites and stuff, which I only came up on my feed there for the first time last week, and I was like, oh, he's been doing this for ages. Didn't know this.
I've been aware of that for a
And
while.
it's just like,
yeah,
wow,
it's,
man. You're like,
Mm.
yeah, and the lawsuit is all just. Why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing this into next year? You should just let it lie and hope that people forget. Now they won't forget, but the people that don't care will still like your music, and that's fine. Like,
I've had a theory for a little while, maybe mostly calcified over the past few weeks with the various crypto scams, the hook to a girl and various other ones. Drake crypto scam controversy 2025.
it's gonna happen.
I'm just saying.
Watch this.
Where else
space.
does he go? Do you know what community is incredibly welcoming to people who've been dismissed from other communities?
Yeah,
Crypto bros.
for sure.
So watch that space.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, not like us. Absolutely, unequivocally, one of the bangers of the year. Just a great moment. Well done, Kendrick.
yeah, and that
Billabus.
wap 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 line is just it'll be featured again.
Dot fuck 'em up.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. Okay, second last track is from Burial. Boy Sent From Above, one of the, I think, 3 songs. I mean, what's a burial song these days? A burial song is a
I
cinematic
don't know. Is it
soundscape.
a poem? Is it a painting? Is it
a multi,
is it a memory?
a suite of things. It is never just one
Mm.
song. But Boy Sent From Above is the one that did it for me this year. I'm going to drop it in somewhere in around 4 minutes of the 13 and a half minutes, and then talk about it. I'm gonna forward it a bit as well, just to hear what where this goes, because it goes in different directions. So yeah, I mean, at this point with Burial's music, it's hard to know whether these are songs or artistic statements or like pieces of art, really soundscape art. They're kind of, as Burial has always kind of done, he's always bringing in nostalgic R&B vocals, crackling noise, and 90s an increasing interest in 90s rave sounds. So there's a lot of that there. I think Boy Sent From Above is just more sonically loaded in a way. It's like it's more maximalist and euphoric than he normally does, but it is, like you hear there, a real multi-part suite. It's like wandering through in and out of rooms in a club where different music is playing, but it's all sort of vaguely ravey, and it's that euphoria that brought me back over and over again to those synths when they come in, and these kind of like crystalline synth notes that come in over that as well, and I just love it so much. And it's I think it was just one of those surprising things that even so far into Burial's career, while he's still kind of doing the same thing, there are, you know, different shades of it, and I think it's interesting now where he's going, and it's always this far in. Still, I'm still interested, and I'm still, even though essentially it's the same thing. Apparently, the samples are Monica's "Angel of Mine" and Destiny's Child "Say My Name." So yeah, it is that an audio collage of R&B and video games and rave music, and it's still captivating. Still captivates me after all this time.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's What did you call it? Sonically loaded. I think that's a really nice phrase to use to describe that. Okay, we are now into the section of the podcast where we are both. This is the only ranking we're doing. We've both chosen our song of the year. So my song of the year, I said it the day it came out to myself. And then I said it to Harry. I believe I've said it to you. And while there's been songs that have come out that I've considered bumping up ahead of this, whenever I go back and I listen to this, I think, no, this is perfect. There's nothing I would change about this song. Absolutely everything is in its right place here. This is Good Luck Babe by Chapel Rowan. Chapel Rowan. Why did I pronounce it wrong? I've never done that.
It's fine. It's cool. You can say that we ain't nothing, but you know the truth. And guess I'm the fool with their arms out like an angel through the car sunroof. I don't wanna call it off, but you don't wanna call it love. You only wanna be the one that I call baby. Cause I'm the boys and boys shoot another shot to stop the feeling. You could say it's just the way you are. Make a new excuse, not a stupid reason. Go away, well, go away, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling. Go away, well, go away, yeah. To stop the world, just to stop the feeling.
So I remember it was like 2 days before she released the song, she came up on my TikTok feed, and it was her talking to camera, and she was like, here's like a sneak peek of my my new song that I'm releasing on Friday. And she played a clip of the chorus. And I was like, who the hell is this? What is this song? And then I clicked into her account and I was like, oh, she's the Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess girl. Okay, she's good. I like her. But when I heard the little clip, I was like, okay, I'm coming back on Friday when this is out. And then it came out on the Friday and I listened to it, and immediately I was like, this is brilliant. Like it's just like, I find it so hard to put into words, but I can just name all the things in it that are perfect. The vocals are perfect. The melodies are perfect. The structure of the song is perfect. The middle eight is perfect. The production, particularly in the second verse when the strings come in, is perfect. Everything about it, even to like the smallest details with how the song ends with this, the kind of the slowing down. It sounds like you're kind of slowing down a record. Just it's a perfect pop song. And I can't fault it at all. And then obviously the theme of the song, the lyrics of the song are so interesting about, compulsory heterosexuality and lesbian relationships and all of that. And it's just like, I don't know. I've so many good things to say about this song,
it's
but
so
I mean,
good.
the best thing I can say about it is that
Just
it's
one of
perfect.
those perfect pop songs. And,
Perfect.
you know, I mean, that little detail from a couple of weeks ago that I heard, I can't remember where it came out, but that, you know, it's slightly they changed the BPM by 1 BPM towards the end, somewhere in the song.
Yes, yeah.
I can't remember exactly where, but like, yeah, it just gives you that kind of slightly syncopation that, you know, isn't like perfect and is human and is like, yeah. And then the slowing down and just the vocals, like, fucking hell, come on.
Yeah. Like,
it's so good.
And I can't remember who said it. I think I was watching one of those kind of YouTube people. It might have been HT Hayes. And he pointed out how funny it is that she begins the song by singing, "It's fine, it's cool," and she ends the song by screaming, "I told you so." It's just that journey of getting from like getting angrier and angrier and more upset and more unhinged. It's brilliant. It's so good.
It's perfect. It's so perfect. It's such a perfect song. Sorry, the verse is in 117 BPM and the chorus is in 116, giving it a slight difference. And probably just signifies as well to your ears, whether you know it or not, that we are in the chorus, you know. That subtle difference. It's such a perfect song. I was definitely late to this one. I know our Discord, patreon.com/909, where you can get access to our Discord, which is the online forum of people hanging out, talking about music and doing music leagues and sharing cheese recommendations as well. Why not? Chaperone came up frequently last year. I think it was Seamus in the Discord who was talking about Chaperone and how he was already on board last year. And then, of course, she really, really took off, and it got quite it just exploded. Obviously, her story this year is unreal, and scary as well. And like, you know, she's handled it really well, I thought, and she's represented herself. And there's probably a lot to be learned from that kind of thing. So yeah, Chaperone, good luck, babe.
I think so.
April 5th that came out, and still flying high. Over 1 billion plays on the most popular streaming service, aka the one you know.
It's unbelievable.
So my number one.
Okay, Niall, what's your song of the year?
My number one crept up on me, as all good songs do. It's not often obvious. It's the one that you return to. When all is said and done, as much as I love sonic details and production, it all comes back to a great song. And what is a great song a lot of the time is just a simple pleasure of people singing and lovely music. The simple pleasure of a beautiful harmony of two people singing together about the nuanced shades of relationship dynamics. And that song is, for me this year, Right Back to It from Waxahatchee and MJ Lenderman.
Bracing for a bombshell. Earlobes written on a blank check. Wear it around your neck. I was at low, but you come to me on a fault line, deep inside a gold mine, hovering like a moth. I lose a bit of myself. For so long, come right back to it. I let my mind run wild. I don't know why I do it, but you just settle in like a song we know it. If I can keep up, we'll get right back to it.
So there you go, full circle. We started with MJ Lenderman and we end with a song featuring MJ Lenderman. That is Right Back to It, Waxahatchee and MJ Lenderman together. I think the two of them together, their voices just meld so perfectly. And yeah, I just love the vocals. I love the subject matter and the nuances of it. And yeah, this was just a real comfort blanket a lot of the time. It was a real mood enhancer, a real lovely thing to delve into every now and again. Almost like a palate cleanser almost. Every time I listened to it, I was like, wow, I'm enjoying this so much. And every time I was just kind of wrapped by the song, and I still am. So yeah, from the album Tiger's Blood from Waxahatchee, that is right back to it. And that concludes our songs of 2024. There's plenty more coming from me anyway. I have 100 more or 100 thereabouts, and then the Irish tracks or Irish songs of the year as well to come. And then on our next podcast, we're going to be doing albums of the year as well. And then following that, we'll do our annual awards, the Niall and Niall Music Awards. So yeah, plenty to come still from us. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And if you do like it, as I said, come and check out patreon.com/909, support us, and come and join the community there. And it's a fun time. It's a fun time. We are also doing our kind of, I guess, our Christmas party, really, which is on the 18th of December. We mentioned it maybe before, but we are doing our listening party for December is The Strokes. Is This It? We're going to be playing the album. And then Andrea's going to DJ for us all. That's what's happening, right?
I don't know. I'm going to bring records and I'm going to hand them to you, and you can put them on.
Okay.
Because I'm
going to
scared.
play some
but
indie disco
DJ Dre
vibe on a Wednesday.
Will be in the house.
Yeah. In true, special guest artist who's just got somebody else to do the actual work for them, or the hand.
Oh, perfect.
Hands-on
Yeah.
stuff.
I'll be the special guest.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'll just sort of like put sunglasses on and like,
exactly.
Behind the decks. Yeah, that sounds great.
Good. Yeah.
I can definitely do
like
that.
a ring.
I actually think I'd be really good at it.
We'll just attach a load of vapes together, and you can, vape them all in one go.
That sounds unreal. That sounds like class. I love vaping and I love vibing.
Vaping and vibing. So that's in the Big Romance
That's
on
me.
December 18th.
DJ Vape.
Yeah, and look out for our next episode as well. We're on Christmas time, so it could drop whenever, really, I think, but probably
At any moment.
Probably next week.
Stay afraid.
All right, Andrea, thanks so much.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks,
Thank
Niall.
you for sharing your end of the year special best of with us. And yeah, we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
Thanks for listening to the 909 podcast. If you like what we do, why not consider supporting us at patreon.com/909.